don't know what to do. Oh my God. Do I go this way? Do I go this way? I don't know, man. I don't know. It just, I can't get myself to figure it out. I don't know if I should do it. How many of you guys have ever had that type of like crippling anxiety? You're like at a crossroads and you start feeling like yourself panicking. And maybe it's because you have like 2 decisions or 3 decisions, different paths that you could take. And you're in that crossroads. You're trying to figure out which one to take. Like maybe it's like at the top of the hour, you're supposed to do something. You either got to, make a decision on whether you're going to go to do this thing or not. And the closer that it gets to that time, the more you start freaking out and the more pressure you feel, and it fucks you up. How many of you guys have that crippling anxiety, that performance anxiety? Because that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today, man. And I can relate to it. I've been there, and I'll tell you something. If you have that crippling anxiety when it comes to making a decision in your life, being at a crossroads and choosing, do I go left, do I go right? Here's what you do. I'm going to break it down in this video, okay? For you guys that don't know me, I'm going to be talking about high performance today, right? So what's my experience with high performance? Well, I went from I was a shy kid. I sat in the back of the classroom. I got nervous when you called on me. I went from that to becoming an Army Ranger. I was an infantry officer. And I went out and did, crazy missions sometimes, man. Like we did high value target raids. I did even just training missions where we were doing air assaults, jumping out of helicopters, jumping out of planes. I mean, doing night ops, all types of crazy shit. And then even as a commander, my entire military experience was in the infantry, right? Well, my entire officer experience was in the infantry. Before that, I was an engineer. Point is that when it comes to dealing with stress and pressure, I know a thing or two about it, okay? A lot of the anxiety and the pressure that you guys are facing. Now, I've experienced pressure in business too, okay? So I'm an entrepreneur now. What I do is I help people win in business and life. I help them get the body they want, the life that they want, the business that they want. And I teach them the leadership and mindset strategies that I learned to turn myself into the 1% in the military and build a 1% life. At least I believe I have a 1% life. I don't know what the stats are. But I got a 6-pack, I got a cool car, and I got a cool life. So that's a 1% life. Okay, so let's dive in. Anxiety, guys. If you get this anxiety inside of you, when you're at that crossroads, like you wake up and you need to go to the gym, or how many of you guys like start pacing when you think about whether you should go to, it could be something simple, like should I go to this gym or should I go to this gym? Should I do an outdoor workout or should I do an indoor workout? Should I or should I not? Should I work on my business? Should I work on my schoolwork? Like you start having all these different things in business and life that are stacking up, and you're trying to figure out which one you do. Okay, and you put all this, and as you tell yourself, you know what, in the next hour I need to make a decision, and as time is closing down, you start getting more anxious and more anxious and more anxious, and you just want to shut the fuck down, man. Like you just want to run away, and sometimes maybe you even do. Maybe you just say, screw it, I'm not going to do anything, and that turns into procrastination. You don't do shit. Well, listen, the thing that's happening, guys, is typically, if you're a perfectionist, you're experiencing perfectionism. You're experiencing a symptom of perfectionism. You're experiencing wanting to be perfect and you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to take the next step. So in your mind, whatever step you're about to do is like life or death. It's like such an important step that you're putting all this pressure on yourself to make a decision, and you're having a hard time making a decision until the time goes by and you no longer have to make it, or you escape from it, or you just say fuck it and you go. So, perfectionism can be a blessing and a curse. Like it's good to like try to be excellent, right? But to be a perfectionist, like it's not. I'm a recovering perfectionist, okay? A perfectionist tries to do everything perfect, and when you try to do that, you try to do every little thing at 100%, and as you go through life, You might have small responsibilities, but as you start building yourself up, you have more and more and more and more and more responsibilities. You're going to be a dad, a mom, you're going to have a business or a career, you're going to be in the military, you're going to try to take care of your fitness, your money. There's all these different aspects of life, and as life goes on, you get older, life gets harder, man. It gets harder. You got to develop so much more mental strength as you get older, because the pressure that you feel on a daily basis increases. So that anxiety, that crippling anxiety, a lot of times what that comes from is trying to be perfect at everything. I am a recovering perfectionist. Say it with me now. Perfectionism is not a good thing if it's crippling you, if it's causing you to take no action. So in those moments where you're feeling that massive amounts of anxiety, you need to release from the idea of being perfect. Just say it with me. I release from trying to be perfect, and I accept striving for success. Say that shit over and over. I release from trying to be perfect, and I accept striving for success. It's far more important in life to be successful than it is to be perfect, okay? Like, what do you want? Do you want the nice car? Do you want the nice life? Or do you want the freaking perfect car, and you want it, like, if it gets a little bit of dirt on it, like my window's got some dirt on it right now, would you be like, oh my God, I don't even want it? No, motherfucker, you would want it still. So accept success, okay? So that's the message, guys. It's like when you're dealing with this anxiety, what I want you to really look at is the steps that you're trying to take, okay? The steps that you need to do, whatever it is, whatever you believe that you need to do in that moment. Think about all of them, and then ask yourself, what's the most important one that I think I need to do? Commit to that step, and let go of trying to be perfect all the rest. You do the best you can with what you've got, and then you move forward. Action will cure anxiety. Action always cures anxiety. So the worst thing that you can do is let your thoughts take over and let your thoughts cripple you in that moment. Like, the longer you sit, the more painful that those thoughts are going to become. Okay? So release from the perfection. Focus on taking that next step, and just use your best judgment. Take the step that your ideal self would take. Here's what I do. Here, I'll give you a little thing, and then we'll close it up. When I'm at those crossroads and I'm trying to figure out what to do, what not to do, like, I don't want to go back to my old familiar habits. Like, I want to take the best path. So I say this: I'll sit in this car right here. I'll be looking straight ahead, and I'll have the car running, and I'll look over at the passenger seat, and I'll just start talking to somebody that I respect, somebody that I admire. I'll be like, hey, man, if I'm being completely vulnerable, this is how I feel right now. I'm feeling some anxiety. I'm feeling some nervousness. I'm feeling some being uncomfortable. What do you think I should do? And I just talk to them. I learned this strategy a long time ago in personal development. I used to lay down at night when I was stuck at a crossroads. This is back in like 2014, I think it was, or 13, somewhere in there. I used to go to sleep at night, lay down and close my eyes and pretend there was a bunch of people, like a council around me. And I would ask them all for a piece of advice to help me with the situation that I was in. And these were people that I knew or people that I didn't know. And some people were alive, some people were dead. Like, I had people on there like, I had like Tony Robbins at the council. I had, at the time, I think I read a Rich Dad, Poor Dad book by Robert Kiyosaki. I asked him some shit. So Arnold Schwarzenegger was at my table. Like, these are all people that I had learned a little bit about, and I would just ask them, hey man, what do you think I should do in this moment? This moment I'm feeling some pressure, some anxiety. What do you think I should do next? What puts me on the path? And then I listen. And I just receive whatever that is that they tell me to do. And then I've tried my best to follow it up with action, and I typically do. So you want to flood your anxiety with action as soon as it hits, or as soon as you go through this process. As soon as you get the decision, committed decision, bro. It needs to be a committed fucking decision. All in, I'm owning it. I don't care if it's not the right one. I'm going for it, and I choose this path. I choose the imperfect path because I'm a recovering perfectionist. All right. Hey, so I hope this video fired you guys up. I hope it relieved a little bit of your anxiety. I hope it got you on the right track. That was my goal for the video. If you did, share with a friend that maybe suffers a little bit from procrastination, anxiety, perfectionism, and you guys go out and enjoy your day and be successful. Don't be perfect. Let's get it. Conquer all.